Hello, good evening and welcome to Joy News Prime, live from our studio here at Kojo. We are live on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144. Coming up in this bulletin, resident of Yellow and Lower Manyakrobo Friday enjoyed a brief period of electricity connection. But their joy was short-lived. The lights had to go off again as some transformers went up in flames. We are live in Somaya tonight with details from there. Now, two violent clashes in Ghana's top universities in less than a fortnight. There's a strong push for a national emergency response to the perennial clashes among rival student groups, leading to major injuries and the destruction of properties.
Fortunately, we have CCTV footages of the whole action. And so we are making those ones available to the police. They are not going to go scot-free.
Now, police in Kumasi have obtained crucial CCTV footage from the KNUST management as it pursues the masterminds behind the latest clash between university and Unity Halls. Also, President Akufo-Addo called on Dagbon to cooperate to find a worthy successor to the late Mion Lana, insisting it will be one of the best tribute and honor to his memory.
We will cooperate to find a worthy successor to him as Mion Lana. That things will go smoothly without any difficulty. It's one of the best ways all of us can pay tribute and honor to his memory.
Now, after weeks of being in darkness, residents of Somanya and adjoining towns are expecting ECG to put their lights on permanently after their chiefs and community leaders reached an agreement on the installation of prepaid meters. A protracted conflict between some residents and ECG officials plunged the communities into darkness. Ahead of the officials switching on of light, residents enjoyed a brief period of electricity connection with jubilations erupting from all corners of Somanya. But that joy was short-lived after the light went off again, with ECG officials explaining it was due to some transformers going up in flames. Kweku Asante is our man on the ground and joins us live with update. Kweku, what is the light back now as we speak?
So, Brace, the light is not back now as we speak. The ECG officials, the sources are telling us that they are working around the clock to ensure that the people of Somanya and environs can at least sleep with electricity today. And so that is what they are working on now. What we know is that when the lights came on briefly during the day around 5 p.m., it went back again because there were some issues with some transformers in the town which went up in flames. The ECG officials said they are working around the clock to ensure that the lights will get back on. The people are expectant, they are jubilant, they are expecting that the light to come back. In that insert that you played, you see how much the people were excited after having been in darkness for more than 3 weeks now. They are now expecting that their lives will get back to normal, and that is what they are waiting for now.
But the lights came, we saw the reaction, but since it went, what has the reaction been?
So it's just been disappointment. The people are disappointed that the expectation that the lights will stay on for some time didn't. And so they were hoping that the lights will come back immediately. But it's been 2 hours now. The light is still not back. They've been expressing some disappointment. Let me speak to some people around who are excited about the situation and thinking about what exactly should happen now. So this man here operates a shop here in Somanya. What exactly did officials tell you? Did they tell you ahead of time that the lights were coming back?
As we are in darkness, we are not able to get our radios and our distance to operate so that we can listen to news. So we are just hoping that the light, most of people in society are just hoping that the light will come on.
So at 5 p.m. when the lights came on, were you surprised? What were you thinking?
Surprised, and we scream all over. So it takes a surprise when the light goes off again. So we are just hoping that, we are just in the darkness, we are just hoping that it will come on again.
So, I mean, these people have been in darkness for a few weeks now. It's almost become part of their life. They have been enjoying electricity in the past. When the lights came on for 5 minutes, they were so excited until the lights went back again. So you are very hopeful that this evening the lights will get back.
Yeah, we are hoping that. We are just hoping. We don't even know what to do because we don't know what the others in the town are telling us. So we are just, with the other citizens in the town who are running our business and our normal ways, we are just hoping that one day the light will come. When this afternoon around 5 o'clock it came up, so we are very excited when it go up again. So we are just hoping that they'll rectify things and to come on again finally.
I mean, you look at the issues that led to the lights being taken out, the prepaid issues and all. Do you feel like community members are ready to embrace the new prepaid order?
As you can see, I operate shop here. My shop is having the prepaid over there. So I think they are facing it. Somebody is not struggling with them for the prepaid. So you don't know why it has been taken away. And if I can show you, you can see most shops around are having a prepaid. So somebody is not struggling with them with prepaid. As I tell you to, this is my shop. I have the prepaid over there. So I don't know what is going on. So somebody have embraced the prepaid. Yeah, because they are facing in town, and no one is resisting it.
Then what is the issue then? Why is the lights been off for so long?
That one there I can't say it. But as I can see, with so many communities in so many townships, I've been run by the prepaid. So many people are having it, and you can see that this is the central part of Somanya. So if you are seeing a prepaid in the central part of Somanya, I don't think, and if you go to Somanya Zongo, they are all having, if you enter Somanya Zongo, they are all having a prepaid. Yeah, so I don't know what to say.
Right, so people are excited. And let me speak to another gentleman here about the situation. How excited are you about the idea that the lights are now coming back?
The light is coming back and I'm happy because most of the people business are foreign. We have weathers here. They used to operate and still there's nothing is going on. We have weathers and the weathers use light to operate, and in Somanya about 85% of people have fixed the prepaid and we are still in a darkness. We don't understand that thing. So as soon as like two hours ago we saw the light, we are excited, but still
the system.
I don't know their mind.
I think they are playing with our intelligence because at the end of the day, the MCE and how do you call it? Some of the chiefs actually like.
They say the lights will come back. That's what the promise said. Right. So the question now is, when will the lights come back? They said they are concerned that the lights came back briefly and went off. They want the light to be back, and they are calling on ECG officials to do so now. My sources within the ECG tells me that they are going to ensure that the lights come back before the day ends today, and they are working around the clock to ensure that. I mean, you talk about your disappointment in terms of why the light is still off.
Yeah, I'm a phone dealer, so actually every day I normally try to buy fuel like 300 cedis a day. So at the end of the day, at the closing of the day, the sales I'll make is like 100 cedis or 80 cedis. So I'm losing. So I'm pleading the government to talk to the ECG people to on the light for we. So if the government can do something about it, yeah. So right. That's what we are pleading for now.
I will speak global. I'm in my town. Kaje trom, kapi pom, macha kake pen hala buji, macha ban, macha koko ben klomanam neji macha kong, bialin so ji macha. Wa MCE, odumase, MCE Somanya, honorable to mechobe godwa chai, because we are now a benefit kogaji atino kongo, because I can manya dalijime, kaje manak be light, wa mat mujinone. Ni anu chum papa point. Oya wedesi. Oya nikpeli. Oya hairdressers. Ni namla cost touch me alloy ka na go point. Lo wa mai no na ka happy me be. Ni manu wa mai nyongwe ka happy me be. Lo ni na nye pe no. Nya bada sika wa ba fo sika tanye lo. Na nye pe no nya bada sika wa fo sika tanye lo. Jama bia na nye ni kwata mai adale o menye nga pe yo. Kan ma kwa la nye kwa. Sa pesa na no suwo. Kan ye li pe mi o. Lo ma to anya kan ye yo.
Right, so they say they are pleading with the chiefs and the leaders in the town to ensure that the lights come back and that their businesses are struggling because of this situation with the lights. They are pleading with officials to ensure that this comes on. You just heard from this official who sells phones and accessories in town. He says he buys electricity for 300 cedis every day, and the sales he does every day, sometimes 100 cedis. And so the entire business is struggling. Specifically you, how is this situation affecting you and this promise that the light is coming back? How excited are you that the light is finally coming back?
Well, I'm very excited that the light is coming back. Today I was surprised that it came for about a minute and went back. Actually, the whole thing has affected our business. I work in a press. I own a printing press. I'm a husband. I have a kid. All right? Because of this, I can't feed my family. I have a problem in my home now. You understand what I'm saying? And there is one thing that is going on around Ghana and around the globe concerning the Kojos. I want to clarify this. Kojos have been paying bills since. Okay? Kojos, I have been in this town for over a decade. All right? I have been paying bills and Kojos have been paying bills. There has not been any mistake or anything anywhere until ECG began to overbill the people. Okay? There was overbilling, huge overbilling. Someone who is operating a barbering shop, okay? At the end of the month, you bring 3,000 to that person. What is he using? 5,000. I have a friend who is an electrician. Their house, they have about 5 rooms, okay? And the bills that have been coming is outrageous. And they complain. When they complain, the ECG people came to check and they said it was because there is the earth is not well buried. And so they asked that, okay, then do it for us. They did it for them and they paid. The subsequent months, the bill that is coming was still the same, okay? Until the people could not pay again, all right? And the ECG people came to put off the whole light. They came to disconnect them. Then the next month bill came. The next 2 month bill came. The next 3 months, the next 4 months, bill came, okay?
Even when the lights were off?
Even when ECG came to officially disconnect them. You understand what I'm saying? And so they went to the office to inquire the reason why that was happening. And the answer the ECG people gave them was, it was an estimated bill. How can you cut my meter and still the bill will be coming? And so I disagree for cutting of poles, destroying ECG properties and all that. I disagree with that. But the problem, first of all, ignited from the ECG. And it must be addressed. It shouldn't be these battles and all this thing that is going on, because everybody is frustrated. This whole thing has caused a mess in the town. We are insecure. Just look at the whole municipality, all right, being in darkness for almost a month now. I mean, this is, for crying out loud, what is going on? Can this thing happen in Accra and everybody will be quiet? Is it because we are Kojos? Is it because they don't have any proper leadership talking for them? Men, the leadership should rise up and fix the problem. Right. Thank you very much.
I mean, the concerns about prepaid, can you assure that the prepaid meters will now be installed and ECG officials will feel safe when they come in town? Okay. Because they've been saying that when they come in town, it's because they don't feel safe. That is why the lights are now off.
Okay. Personally, I was in my office when they came to fix the prepaid meter. I welcomed them. They came with some soldiers and all that. I was cool with them. Actually, I don't have any problem with prepaid meters because elsewhere it's happening. They are using it, so I don't have any problem. The issue is that, and I'm in Somenya, here is Somenya, okay? Somenya to be specific. I don't think the citizens of Somenya, any of us or any of the youth had attacked any ECG soldier or whatever workers installing prepaid. Nobody has attacked them here. Nobody. So, okay, fine. So far, I don't have any evidence to say. Maybe somewhere else, fine. But we are not against it. What we want is that, you know, this is a service. ECG is selling power to us. We are the one paying. And so if you want to change from postpaid to prepaid, it's a dialogue. We just have to have a conversation. Okay, a sensible conversation. You don't have to force it on us. You understand what I'm saying? But I don't have a problem with it, with the prepaid meters.
Right. So, Brace, there's a little bit of anger still in the system The people are frustrated about the lights having gone off several weeks now. Their businesses are struggling. You can see a lot of people having just come around here trying to explain that the ECG officials must put their lights back on. The promise is now that the lights will come back now during the day. The assurances we are getting is that the lights will come back today. We'll be sticking and staying around to see when this comes back now. But Kojo people say they are frustrated about this issue, that they've been in darkness for 1 month now. They don't really have an issue with installation of prepaid meters, but they want dialogue. They want issues around billing to be resolved, and then these issues will be fully realized. Of course, if you come here, it's complete darkness, with the exception of a few shops that have generators operating. I can see a soccer bed shop around with electricity. When you go on here, you will see a few shops with electricity being powered. And so these are specific concerns people have raised. It is destroying business, and there are still people around who are now using this as a business. When Manuel Krantin came here a few weeks back, you heard a story where they were charging phones for 3 cedis, charging phone for 5 cedis. People have to charge their phone for multiple times a day. They say this is affecting them, and this is a serious issue. And so they are anticipating that the light will come back finally, just as it did around 5 p.m. today, Brace.
Interesting. But have you been able to meet any official of the ECG to understand what they are doing currently? And like we say, the assurances thereof that indeed tonight this Somanya resident will be getting power.
Right, so official government sources say that they don't want to speak to the media yet. They want to make sure the lights come back on before they will speak. My sources within the ECG also tells me that they are hopeful, they are expecting that the lights will be on today. Their plan was that the lights will come back at 5 o'clock p.m. It did. At exactly 5 p.m. in Somanya, there was light. Until about 5 minutes later, the lights went off because, according to them, some transformers caught flames in town, and they are trying to fix that situation before they can put the lights back on for the safety of the ECG equipment and also for the safety of Kojo people. And so they're expecting that the lights will come back on today. But let me get the viewpoints from this community leader before, Brace, you take it over at the studio. The concerns that you have shared regarding the prepaid meters. Can ECG officials now feel safe finally? Because people have said that they don't feel safe if they come here. Can you assure that now there will be safety, now that the light is coming back, and now that you are going to pay your bills?
Thank you. Let me flow in Chi language so that everybody understands it. Yeah, the person can say, light, you know, I was some of the my near so. Na mom, adiabako and a high proper for a way my moha. Essence say, yeah, Tiana, Yabon, fo, yeah, papa. But the Indian say, Obekano cratre, Okano cratre mia, asan. But ECG for no. Omaya mo say ahano say ye ni your friend say ye pe say ye huni say Kojo no ye no ye peaceful people, but ECG for no omo say ye nkwasiafo omo say ye nkwasiafo simply because your leaders no ye chiefs any ye kono no mu nyina no omo ye ama omo ton ye ama Ghana man no ECG for and nothing ECG and yes advantage, you know, at the year, sir. And to me, person me catch ya leaders are chiefs no more Ghana. So many crow women say, among who say, we are crop for, we are chiefs. Into a moment, no, chief no.
Right.
Light in the
right. So we are demanding that the lights come back. The people around the lower and upper Manya Kojo say they are going to keep vigil this evening, tonight, to ensure that the light will come back. Our sources tell us that the light will come back this evening here in Somanya and the environs. As you've known, for weeks now, the people of Upper and Lower Manya Kojo have been without lights, and finally, it is expected that tonight the lights will be back on, Brace.
All right, Kweku, monitor how the situation, wears on so that we can update our viewers. This is still the Joy News Prime. Now, there's a strong push for a national emergency response to the perennial clashes among rival student groups on various university campuses across the country. After a clash at the University of Ghana last week, the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology is now the battleground for the latest incident, which has left many students injured and several properties destroyed. Thursday night's clash was between University Hall, Katanga, and University Unity Hall, also known as Kunti. The Executive Committee of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology has, with immediate effect, suspended Hall Week as well as SRC Week celebrations indefinitely. We'll bring you the content of that press statement shortly. But first, the university has retrieved some CCTV footages identifying some suspects in Thursday's violent clash between Unity Hall and the University Hall. The video is expected to be handed over to the police to aid the investigation of the incident. Nanaya Ojima has more in this report.
The attack, described as unprovoked, left 12 people injured and 9 vehicles damaged. Though there were attempts to destroy the CCTV cameras, the visuals of the attack remain intact. Dr. Norris Bequin is University Relations Officer.
Fortunately, we have CCTV footages of the whole action, and so we are making those ones available to the police for investigation.
Management of the university is scheduled to meet on Friday over the incident. Dr. Bequin explains the necessary measures will be adopted to ensure perpetrators are brought to book.
Our men are on the ground working seriously to ensure that some of these things are tackled and nipped in the bud. But I can assure all those people who have taken part in this that they are not going to go scot-free.
Meanwhile, there is heavy deployment of police and military personnel on the university campus. A press statement released by the police on Thursday revealed investigation is ongoing to arrest those behind the unfortunate incident. Police wants all law-abiding members of the university community to remain calm and support them as they deal with the situation. For Joy News, Nanaya Ojima, Kumasi.
Now, the statement by the fact-finding committee on this incident, now it reads that following the disturbances arising out of the University Hall Week celebrations on Thursday, 18th August 2022, the Executive Committee of the University, at an emergency meeting held on 19th August 2022, constituted a fact-finding committee to establish the causes of the disturbances. The Executive Committee also decided that with immediate effect, 1, Hall Week and SRC Week celebrations are suspended indefinitely. 2, massing up of students leading up to morale activities and procession is suspended indefinitely. 3, random security checks of persons and vehicles entering and exiting the university campus are to be carried out. The Transport Department of the university has been directed to take custody of all the vehicles that were vandalized during the disturbances and make appropriate recommendations for repairs. Management of the university wishes to express its profound gratitude to the security agencies, particularly the Ashanti Regional Police Command, for their swift intervention in restoring peace and order on campus. We would also like to assure the university community and the general public of the commitment of management to ensure uninterrupted academic activities in the university. And this is signed by Registrar A.K. Boateng of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Now, alumni of the Commonwealth Hall have rejected findings and decisions by the University of Ghana management following the recent clash between students allegedly belonging to Commonwealth and Mensa Saba halls. Among other things, they described the decision by the University Council to relieve 2 officials of the hall of their duty as inconsistent with the basic laws of the university. They're asking the University Council to reinstate the 2 whilst it works to complete its investigations. Michael Ashley has more in the following report.
Students of the University of Ghana in a violent clash on March 5, 2022. Management of the university has since condemned the act and instituted a raft of sanctions. The senior hall tutor and the hall master of Commonwealth were suspended for not cooperating with investigations. At a news conference, the Council of the Commonwealth Hall rejected the allegations. Here is the acting chair of the Commonwealth Hall Council, Professor Osei Amponsa.
The actions emerging from the UG Council decisions were inconsistent with the basic laws of the university and evidently biased with some omissions with respect to rules of natural justice. The Hall Council finds it difficult to comprehend the position of the UG management on this issue. Information gathered from officers of the Hall indicates that they have fully cooperated and attended all invitations to the investigative committees and senior management to find the culprits. The Hall Council wishes to state categorically that it is the responsibility of the Dean of Student Affairs for resolution of conflicts between students and halls and hostels of residents, as well as conflicts involving students outside the halls and hostels, as stated by this decision to punish our hall officers for the actions of students outside their jurisdiction. Are we being invited to think that should any student of the University of Ghana be found on the wrong side of the law outside the University of Ghana campus, the Vice Chancellor should be held responsible for such conduct?
Again, the university said Commonwealth Hall would be surcharged the cost of damages resulting from the clash. Professor Amponsa said the decision was wrong.
Without prejudice, it is possible that the distractions could have been caused by persons not associated with Commonwealth Hall. This makes it wrong for Commonwealth Hall to be surcharged with the cost of the damage when investigations have not been completed.
The student body has also rejected the decision to charge them for the cost of damages. Here is Bright Gatti.
Fellow vandals, what is more, the press release further states, and I quote, Commonwealth Hall is to be surcharged with the cost of damage to property in the vicinity of Mensa Saba Hall. In the recent clash, it still beggars believe that our hall is being surcharged with the cost of damage to property when no member of our hall has been found to be involved in this said riot.
The Commonwealth Hall is an all-male hall and Mensa Saba Hall is a mixed hall. The university said following the clash, it will consider reviewing the composition of the two halls. But alumni of the Commonwealth Hall, the Old Vandal Association, say it would resist that move. Isaac Nketia is president of the Old Vandal Association.
That the purported removal from office of the master and senior tutor by the university authority is ultra-virus and amounts to an assault on rule of law. And call upon the University Council to rescind its decision with the same haste. This hall, the Vandal City, is for males and for males only. Thank you. It is incumbent upon every vandal to, and in fact, we do guard this jealously. So, any attempt by any person to touch the status quo will be vehemently resisted.
The Old Vandal Association says it is working with alumni of Mensa Saba Hall to fashion a roadmap to ensure peace prevails.
We as Old Vandals set out to find a lasting solution to this ugly impasse between students of the Commonwealth Hall and the Mensa Saba Hall. We planned instituting an annual sports festival between these two halls. We are determined to bring back that lab that existed between students of the Vandal City and the Mensa Saba Hall.
So we can now go to Joy News editor Araba Kumsen for this week's editorial.
We'll be paying more for water from September 1. The reason is that the cost of producing water has become more expensive. Ghana Water Company has had to buy more chemicals to clean up our water to make it potable. They've had to import these chemicals from outside, and you know, the cedi has taken a beating against the major trading currencies, so they obviously would need more cedis for this. So that's why we have to pay more for water. Our water bodies are so polluted that it has become so expensive purifying it for consumption. The media sounded a strong alarm on Galamsey, and government listened and supported the campaign. At least that's what we all thought.
It's a package that we have designed to try and bring this menace to a conclusion. I've said it in the cabinet, and perhaps it's the first time I'll be saying it in public. I am prepared to put my presidency on the line on this matter.
I remember this soundbite as if it were yesterday. A president willing to put his presidency on the line. That was bold, fearless even, and it was reassuring. There were many other assurances as well.
Fellow Ghanaians, it is absolutely crucial that deliberations of this consultative dialogue be candid and devoid of partisanship or narrow parochial interests. Hopefully, at the end of the day, we should be able to build a broad-based national consensus around the necessity to stamp out the menace of illegal small-scale mining and the need to support and grow responsible small-scale mining. We want to build on the modest programs made in my first term. We want to learn from our shortcomings and receive productive inputs from this forum for purposes of enhancing the regulation of the sector.
That was not all. Government established the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining. They deployed technology and even used drones to monitor the activities of these illegal miners. The Operation Vanguard was formed. You remember the Galam Stop, the soldiers. They were brought in to ensure that mining in water bodies and forest reserves stops. I mean, there was a mighty show of force. We saw the military burning excavators. As many as 500 excavators were seized by the task force. We're all excited. We were seeing tangible efforts at minimizing this menace. Then, miraculously, some of the excavators went missing. Where did they go? No one knows, except that at the time, a suspended first vice chairman of the MPP, Eko Ewusi, was contracted by government to cart excavators and other vehicles and pieces of equipment seized by the Anti-Illegal Mining Task Force to designated areas for safekeeping. He was investigated by police and later left to go. Now, there were reports that some people of influence who may have owned these excavators made sure to get their excavators back. Mr. President, that was not assuring. It dealt a big blow to the fight against Galamsey. The task force that you instituted has not been effective. There have been allegations that the task force stays away from certain areas because powerful people have contracted people to mine illegally for them. In fact, those who mined in the river Ofin do not hide. They do it brazenly. They have always been there. Until recently, when the task force went there, they've always been engaged in what can best be described as environmental genocide.
We asked for reinforcement from local leaders, the assembly member and the unit committee members before the operation, but they didn't mind us. After we drove them out of Abumpi, Intabanu and other villages, we reported to the DCE of Makranso and police commander, but they did not assist us. Now they are back, working actively at Abesua number 1 and 2 and Abumpe number 1 and 2.
Mr. President, the men you trusted when you put your presidency on the line are either not working or maybe working against you. Why do I say so? Our rivers still remain dirty and polluted. The aquatic life in most of these water bodies is almost non-existent. The fishes are dying, and because of that, we are having to import more whilst destroying the natural habitat of freshwater fish. And since the use of mercury is not regulated, you can imagine the level of mercury pollution in our water bodies. Unregulated use of mercury shattered a tiny town in Japan called Minamata and caused serious neurological damage to the people. There's a global treaty to protect human health and the environment from the adverse effects of mercury, But we are doing little about it here. To put this bluntly, the fight against Galamsey has failed woefully. How many people have been arrested? How many have been prosecuted? We should receive these updates because all we see are dirty rivers. This government has sunk money into the fight against Galamsey, but there's little to show for it. It's true that our own people are helping foreigners to destroy our water bodies. These are unpatriotic nation wreckers. We know that, but government has a duty to enforce the law. Mr. President, in 2 years, your tenure will expire. Time is on your side to stop this menace. We remember all your assurances about Galamsey, but what is there to show for it? What we need is acta non verba. To wit, deeds, not words.
Welcome back from the break. Now, the coalition of NGOs against mining in Atiwa Forest, led by Arocha Ghana, is calling for an immediate halt on all government actions to prospect bauxite in the Atiwa Forest Reserve. The group has accused government of issuing prospecting license to the Ghana Integrated Aluminium Development Corporation, GIADEC, an action the group says has been shredded in secrecy. The coalition has therefore reiterated the call for government to back down on its resolve to mine bauxite in the Atiwa Forest, especially in the face of recent climate conversations and global water crisis.
We reiterate that regardless of how small the area planned for bauxite mining, Atiwa must not be mined for bauxite. The government and GIADEC must rescind their plans immediately. Ghana can have a thriving integrated aluminium industry without targeting Atiwa Forest in order to save crucial water sources for over 5 million Ghanaians. This we have said over and over again, and we want to reiterate that. Failure to heed to this call will be intergenerationally suicidal and also reckless. The lack of transparency and the information throughout this process is unacceptable. Ghana's resources, including her forests, are for all Ghanaians. If government is trying to keep communities and civil society quiet, it will not work.
Meanwhile, a member of the Concerned Citizens of Atiwa Landscape, Collins Amwa, has bemoaned the lack of support from chiefs in this fight against mining bauxite in the Atiwa Forest.
About 50 communities surrounding this land we are talking about. But most of these chiefs, indirectly or directly, are not in support. Why? Because they look at the little money that they will be given, or sometimes, the positions they will be called to, so they don't want to give in. Some of them even resist openly. When you want to go to the committee, as we said that we go to them, we want to sensitize them and let them understand what is happening. And some of them even want to kick you off because the Aban is bringing more jobs and you people are saying no. But we have explained to you severally that bauxite mining in Atiwa will not bring us any kind of jobs. Because ours, which have been in the mining this thing for over 100 years, could not bring 10 permanent jobs to our people. It's only casual men and women and men who are sacked at any time the executive want to. So it will not bring us any job.
Now, Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has stressed the need for African countries to collaborate and fight off emerging and existential threat posed by terrorist organizations across the continent. He is therefore urging leaders in sub-region to take special interest in the continued training of their respective armies in contemporary technology and skills to foil attacks. The Vice President was speaking at the graduation ceremony of the Ghana Armed Forces Command and Staff College.
By the powers conferred
in all, 85 students passed out, 59 from the Ghana Armed Forces,
26 from the armed forces of 11 other African countries. The rest were allied students who graduated with masters in defense and international politics. Addressing the graduates, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia underscored the need for nations to offer contemporary training for their respective armies to ensure their readiness to fight off any terrorist attack.
Recent attacks in Burkina Faso, Togo, and the Ivory Coast highlight the determination of the terrorists to expand beyond landlocked Sahelian countries, where the insurgency has devastated thousands of lives and property in the last decade. The fight against terrorism is a collective responsibility. In our bid to involve every citizen in the fight against terrorism, the government recently launched a campaign dubbed See Something, Say Something. This campaign will provide further education and highlight the challenges in the sub-region regarding terrorism and other activities that threaten the security of the country. I will therefore encourage you to be active participants and help educate your communities.
Commandant of the Ghana Armed Forces Command and School College, Rear Admiral Moses Beg-Bafwo, appealed to government to help increase the physical infrastructure of the institution. He disclosed plans to increase intake in both the junior and senior divisions.
The college has projected that both the junior and senior division course capacities should be increased to 100 each by 2023. This, however, comes with corresponding challenges, including the expansion of physical infrastructure and increase in the strength of the teaching staff. I would therefore appeal to government to assist the Ghana Armed Forces Command and Staff College, just as is currently happening at the Ghana Military Academy.
Now, President Akufo-Addo has called for cooperation among the kingmakers in Dagbon to find a worthy successor to the late Mion Lana Na Abdullahi III. For him, the gesture will be a perfect tribute and honor to his memory. The Mion Lana passed on Tuesday evening at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital in Accra, after which the body was airlifted to Mion at the Jubilee House to officially inform President Akufo-Addo about the Mion Lana's death. Leader of the delegation, Abubakari Isahaku, who is also secretary at the Gbewa Palace, said the kingdom is yet to come to terms with the Mion Lana's death.
Member of Parliament for the good people of Gushigu. Mr. President, we are being led by
for the day that I was coming to see him, only for me to be hit by the news yesterday by the National Security, Minister for National Security, Honorable Kandapa, of the sad event. I quickly went to Yendi. Before I set off, I called my uncle, Ayab Zuhagban Lena, to assemble a team of imams, traditionally, to be able to announce the death to the head of the family, who happens to be Mbadou.
Now, President Akufo-Addo described the late Mion Lana as a peacemaker who was very instrumental in bringing solution to the Dagbon chieftaincy crisis.
They say man proposes and God disposes. And so it is that today we're here to mourn and grieve over a young man who had a good heart, was a lover of his people, was a respectful and obedient chief to his overlord, and who was determined to do his bit to advance the welfare of the people of Dagbon. A few months ago, he insisted that I should do him the favor of sending him to visit Dubai. And he went there. And from all accounts, he had a wonderful time, because when he came back, He was really radiant. He had enjoyed.
Well, I think there's more news on myjoyonline.com. My name is Samuel Kojo. Brace up.